Welcome to my channel. I'm Scott, and in this video I'm going to show you how charts work. The main focus is candlestick charts because I think candlesticks give you the most information. At least I personally enjoy looking at candlestick charts when I look at stocks. We're going to look at Alibaba. I'm using FinViz, so if you want to get the same exact layout, it's on FinViz. You can see Baba right here in the corner. And you could pick your time frame. You could see how the stock moves every minute, every 3 minutes, every 5 minutes, every 15 minutes, 30 minutes, every hour, every day, week, month. And then right here you could pick your range. So if you want to see the past 3 months, past 6 months, the past year, 2 years, 5 years, etc. Line charts are the easiest to understand. This is a line chart by day. And the first day was November 13th. You could see that in the top left corner. And the last day is January 4th. So the way the line is connected, it's the closing price of each day. On November 13th, the stock closed at 82.26. So a point was put at 82.26. The following day, November 14th, it closed at 83.87. So a dot was put at 83.87. And then a line connected those two dots. It went up on November 15th. Then it went down on November 16th. But you don't know where the stock moved intraday. You do get a little more info on this website because it does show you the opening. On November 16th, it opened at 79.52. The high was 80.77. The low was 78.23, and it closed at 79.11. But a candlestick chart gives you all this information visually by day. Here's the same range, but in a candlestick chart. So if you see a red candlestick, that means the stock went down that day. On December 20th, the stock opened at 74.58, and then it closed at the bottom of the candlestick, which is 73.35. So when you see a red candlestick, the opening is on the top, the closing price is on the bottom. The following day, on December 21st, the stock opened at 74.86. It closed up here at 76.26. And if you look at the very bottom, you can see the volume. 20.8 million shares were traded on this day, and the bulls won. There was more buyers than sellers. On the previous day, which happened to be the ex-dividend date, December 20th, 27.5 million shares were traded, and the bears won. It was a red day. The number of shares traded doesn't tell you if there were more buyers or sellers, or vice versa. There could be 1,000 shares traded and the stock goes up or goes down. Or there can be 1 billion shares traded and the stock could go up or it can go down. The way it goes down or up is when there's more buyers or sellers on one side. You see this green candle right here. You may be wondering why there are lines on the top and the bottom. Those are the wicks. On November 14th, the stock opened at 82.76. But at some point in that day, the stock got down to 82.32 at its lowest point. And when the market closed on this day, the stock was 83.87. But at some point, it got as high as 84.54. November 15th, right here, is a doji. A doji is a very small candlestick body, or no body at all. This shows lots of indecision between buyers and sellers. There was no clear winner. The bears didn't win and the bulls didn't win. The stock barely moved. You can see there was a lot of intraday trading though. The stock traded between 86 and 88, but the opening and close was really tight. The opening price was 86.96 and the close 87.07. So the price only moved 11 cents that day. But we could get even more granular. Here's November 15th every 30 minutes. On 11:15 at 9:30 a.m., Baba was trading at 86.96. A half hour later, at 10 a.m., it was trading at 86.74. And you can see how big the wicks are. It goes all the way down here, all the way up here. So the low was 85.90, way down here, and the high was 87.24. It was 86.74 at 10 a.m. And the next candlestick is green. So the opening is down here, 86.74, and the close, which is 10:30 a.m., the close, is 86.81. And down here is a trading volume. So in that 30-minute time frame, 1.32 million shares were traded. And you could see how big the wicks were on this half hour also. If you bought the stock at 10:30 a.m. at $86.81, that's a great entry point. And 30 minutes later, at 11 a.m., it closed at 87.57. And then if you exited, you would have made some money. Because the next half hour, it was pretty much flat. The wick got up here and down here, but the opening and close was pretty tight. So there was no clear winner. The next half hour, the bears won. They brought the price down from $87.55 to $86.99. You can get even more granular every 15 minutes, every 5 minutes, every 3 minutes, and every minute. Here's a monthly candlestick chart. This is for the month of January. It opened at 91.11 and it closed at 110.20. And 440 million shares were traded in January 2023. So you can see on January 31st, the stock closed at 110.20. On February 1st, the stock opened at 111.86. This column is February. How come the close does not equal the open? Because on the last trading day of January, there's a few hours in post-market trading. And the first trading day in February, there's a few hours in pre-market trading. So that's why the opening and close don't always match. Here's a daily chart. On December 27th, the stock closed at 76.11. The following day on December 28th, it opened at 77.23. This is what you call a gap right here. This area right here is a gap because the lines are not touching. Like for instance, these 2 days there's no gap because the close was here and the opening was here. So if the stock kept going up, you can see it went up this day, it went up this day. If it kept going up, then that means the gap wasn't filled. And over 90% of gaps get filled. But as you can see, it did get filled over here because it came down the price and it ended up touching the gap right here. So if there's a big gap like this, you can expect the stock to come down. So if there's a big run up over the next few weeks, eventually the gap would get filled. Or at least 90% of the time it would get filled. So that's it. That's my beginner course on candlesticks. Let me know what you think. If you have other ideas for videos, please let me know. Thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe, like. Talk to you soon.